So, welcome, my family. Of course, this is going to be What Do You Need to Know Wednesday. I don't know why my wrist started hurting. I don't know. Always have random cuts and bruises on me, so I'll be having to like make sure I ain't like hurt myself or nothing. But I don't know. I just have an aching. Anyway, my name is B. Hi, just in case if you're new to being here and around these parts. If you're accustomed to being here, welcome back. Like I said, this is going to be What Do You Need to Know Wednesday. This is going to be for September the 10th. I think it's the 10th. Yeah, September 10th, 2025. This is timeless, okay? So if you see this on any other Wednesday, there should and possibly might still be some messages for you. I hope everything has been going well for you guys. My week or so has been pretty intricate and been pretty interesting, to be honest. But blessings on blessings. I really can't complain too much. So I hope you guys have been feeling good. I know we just had the lunar eclipse on in Pisces this past Sunday. Hopefully, again, it's been helping release some things. I know it's been helping me kind of release some things too, and kind of come into some other things that I have going on. So, I feel like the biggest revelation for me, especially with this Pisces lunar eclipse energy, has been like getting out my shell, connecting with the people that I'm trying to connect to. I can be such an Aquarius sometimes. I'm always in my head. I'm in my shell. I be thinking about people, but I don't really do the work on reaching out to them to let them know that I'm thinking about them and stuff. So I've just been working on that, connecting with family, reaching out to my family, reaching out to my friends, reaching out to the friends that I'm trying to blossom into deeper friendships. Reached out to people who I've kind of had fallings out with, to let them know that I kind of forgive them and that, and or if I'm still mad, that I still love them, even though I'm still upset about what happened. So pretty eventful, pretty smooth. Yeah, everything has been going really, really good. I'm in the process of like trying to find a new place, so things have been a little hectic on my end. So excuse my tardiness and my inability to remain consistent during these moments. But again, better late than never. I'd rather be here, and thank y'all for still just being patient with me and rocking out with me while we can. Now, again, we're gonna jump into What Do We Need to Know Wednesday. If you're new here, let's just go ahead and give a quick rundown on that. What Do You Need to Know Wednesday is basically going to be a wrap up of what you might need to know leading up until this point as the week has been going, or what you might need to know to follow through the week, going off into the weekend. None of my readings are meant to confuse you or trigger you at any given moment. If you are watching this and you're listening to my voice and you're watching my face, and anything I say and or mention might trigger you, or now you're kind of anxious, you're obsessive, you're ending the video with less clarity, with less surety in your spirit than you started it with, then turn this off. Come back to it later when you feel more stable, or come back to it never, because maybe I'm just not the reader for you, and that's okay. Uh, I feel like my TV is a little extra loud for my liking, but I can't find the remote, and I didn't want to expend a whole lot of energy on trying to find the remote to turn it down. So hopefully we can just work with it. Hopefully me projecting my voice and the mic being close enough really helps. I also know when I started this, it said that my background noise thing is on, which is I think something that just works with the mic that I bought. I think it's maybe automatic where they pick up when it picks up loud noise, it'll kind of mute it. So maybe you can hear me and you can't hear the background music. I can hear the music. It's definitely a little loud for my taste. Anyway, that's enough running my mouth. Let's go ahead and get this started, because I have a pretty good bit I have to do today. So let's kind of go ahead and just jump in with this, right? Okay, what do we need to know Wednesday for my collective of people? What do we need to know? What guidance do we need to know right now during this time? I'll take these two. Give me two more cards. And I think I am going to actually pause that. I love to have music in the background, but I can't find a remote and it's too loud. And I don't know, I'm a little, I feel like on the ADD spectrum too. So sometimes it'd be real hard for me to focus when there's background stuff going on, because I'm going to focus on what's going on over here, and then I split my mind in three because I'm paying attention to all three things. So I'm actually just going to pause that. The cards that we have for What Do You Need to Know Wednesday, we do have the Power card out first. We have the Starting Over card. This says Storm, Inner Growth, and Serendipity. Automatically, I feel like there's a need to tell somebody, or a message that needs to be given to somebody about pressure. Either does one or two things, right? It either gonna make you a diamond or it's gonna bust your pipes. You have to figure out which one works for you, right? The storm card and the inner growth card, though, together does make me feel like, regardless of whatever rough times or rough patches you might be enduring right now, whatever you might feel like is kind of going on that's causing some anxiety, or maybe you just, again, going through a rough patch, maybe you going through a storm, maybe there's a storm cloud, but the song, or the lyric out of the song, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's coming to me. Remember that everything that you endure is specifically meant to kind of help you with growth, right? I tell people all the time, growth comes with growing pains. That's just what it is. It's uncomfortable, it's weird, it's an inconvenience a lot of the time, but it's still growth nonetheless, right? Maybe going through certain rough patches require for you to make certain lifestyle changes. But if you would have never went through this rough patch, you'd never know that I would have to go through that lifestyle change, right? You never know that I need to work on my budgeting and my savings until you get down on your ass and you realize, damn, all of the money I spent this month, all of the money I spent this year, all of the times I didn't put the money back for a rainy day fund. You'll learn to have the rainy day fund once you get down on your ass and you start thinking about all the money that you frivolously spent through instead of saving it just in case if you needed a rainy day fund. Right? As I say that, let's move down to the serendipity card. Again, if you need to hear it this week, you will reap the rewards of your hard work. Okay? Divine alignment is happening. All of your wishes will be fulfilled. It's going to cause you a level of strength, though, and for some of you, it's going to cause you to start over. For some of you, the strength will be in starting over. Let me say that again. For some of you, the strength will be in starting over. Some of you, you need to have strength. You ain't got to start over. Some of you, you just got to start over, but you have the strength to. For some of you, your strength and starting over go hand in hand. The starting over is the rough patch, right? So for some of you this week, maybe that's something on your mind. Maybe you've been thinking about wanting to start over. Maybe you're being forced to start over, right? Because again, serendipity, divine alignment, spiritual growth, spiritual awakening, lifestyle changes. Sometimes when you too afraid to make the change, life will make it for you. Sometimes when you too afraid to get rid of the man, God will make the man get rid of you. Sometimes when you too afraid or worried to get rid of the job, God will make the job get rid of you. So it's like, okay, yeah, you might have to start over, but how are you moving in that start over, right? What's your energy like? What's your attitude like? Are you starting over? You dragging your feet? Do you need to start over and you acting like, oh, I just don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to do this? A lot of the times we hate our job. We fucking hate the job. We hate the relationship. We don't like our friends. We don't like the apartment complex that we have. We don't like our car. But a lot of the times you be too afraid to get rid of it because if I get rid of it, then I really won't have anything. But you don't have anything now. That's for somebody. Oh, well, I'm just so afraid to be alone. But you alone in a relationship. You alone in the marriage. You alone in the co-parenting. You alone already. You just afraid to make it real. You afraid to officiate it. A lot of the times you don't really understand how real a thing is until you say it out your mouth, right? Until you say it out your mouth and say, I don't want to be with this person. Now it feels really real, right? You are already alone in spirit and emotionally in the connection. But see, now you really feel alone when you say, I don't want this anymore and I'm going to walk away from it. Why? Because adding the sound to it makes it real. It ain't real when you just kind of keep it to yourself and don't nobody know about it. Then you can keep playing along and act like, oh yeah, I'm just so happy. I love this job so much. You fucking are miserable here. You know that. You hate this relationship and you know that. Why is you playing with yourself and acting like it's not what you know it is? Bottom of the deck card, we do have money here. I think it's really funny too. You have two cards of reaping rewards. So I'm telling you now, for those of you where it feels really hard to tear yourself away, where it feels really hard to start over, right? Again, if you know you book readings with me, you know I love a good example, right? So let's use a good example. Let's use relationships. Again, I meet a lot of women who are in relationships. You're unhappy in the relationship. You just afraid to be unhappy outside of the relationship, right? But see, depending on how much you have built with this person and attained with this person, you will be afraid of starting over again. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, there's beauty in having to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reward to be reaped. But see, you have to sow something first. You so afraid to get out of the relationship, you don't want to start over. I have kids. We're married. I would have to get a new house. I would have to get a new car. I would have to, and it's like that's fine. But see, again, you don't even know how much you will be blessed by sacrificing the one thing you think you're afraid to sacrifice. To make those lifestyle changes, to really grow and get in alignment with something that's new, even if that means starting over from scratch, starting over again, having a new cycle, starting over with yourself. It's like, imagine walking away from the job, but then you get the job you always dreamed of. Imagine walking away from the relationship, but then you find the love of your life that you've always dreamed of. There's a reward to be reaped. There's something beneficial here. It's I'm being reminded of the meme, and I feel like I've said this before. I feel like I've mentioned this before, but I'm being reminded of the meme where, and it's a religious meme where God goes to a child and he has this really big teddy bear behind his back, and he tells the child, "Give me the teddy bear that's in your hand. It's like this big. It's all broke up and tore up, and the stuffing coming halfway out of it." And she's holding on to it real tight, and he like, "Give me that. That's in your hand." And she like, "But God, I really love this thing, and like, but if I give it to you, I won't have it. And if I don't have it, then like, this is my comfort thing." And it's like, whole time you don't know that there's an even bigger bear that is brand new, that don't got the stuffing coming out of it, that's not missing the eye. It got all of the stitching. You know what I'm saying? So it feels like that, but it's like it's gonna require confidence, it's gonna require power, and it's gonna require strength. And it, for some of you, might require patience. It's hard to leave relationships where you feel like I gotta start all the way over. It's hard to leave your job where you feel like, yeah, as much as I hate this motherfucker and I hate the people that's here, I can't stand my bosses, I can't stand this, I can't stand that. But one thing about it is it gets the bills paid. But imagine being at a job where you like your coworkers, you like your boss, and it gets the bills paid. Imagine. But see, you don't want to let go of this job. You clinging onto it, and you don't even know that if you were to be strong enough, tapping your power enough, be confident enough to know that your divine team, whoever you pray to, fill in the blank here, is going to always provide for you. You step out on a leap of faith. What's that story in the Bible where they was on the water and it was real turbulent, and somebody was like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was along the lines of like, well, God, if you really real, then let me see if you really real. I'm finna step out on this water. God said, you can step out. Yeah, step out on this water. Come walk to me. Don't look down. Don't look down. And at first he was doing real good, till he fucked around and looked down and saw that he was actually really walking on water and fucking with shit. And then you goddamn, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, step out on faith. Don't be afraid to sacrifice stuff this week. So there's a message in that. Don't be afraid to sacrifice stuff. Don't be afraid to sacrifice yourself. Don't be afraid to start over in anything. Yeah, it might be a little rough. Yeah, it might be a little turbulent. Yeah, but the beginning stages might be a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you freshly lock your hair and twist your hair as black people, right? Yeah. The first couple of stages is ugly. You got the hang time phase, you know what I'm saying? It barely touch the back of your neck, you know what I'm saying? You look real crazy. But then when your hair really grow and then your hair really get locked and your locks really start growing, it's like, oh wow, you got beautiful locks. You got some beautiful hair. But see, that first beginning stage was a little ugly, right? It was a little rough, right? It wasn't an easy transition. It's not gonna always be an easy transition, but it's about how strong you are, about how serious you are about stepping out on faith with the thing. All in all, though, synchronicities and wishes fulfillment are wishes are to be fulfilled. For some of you, like I said, money, money, money. So this is more so about money, career, finances, right? Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to start that business. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to market yourself. Don't be afraid to quit the job and say, you know what, this job just isn't fulfilling me. And though I like my position or I like my career field, this isn't doing it for me. Let me go find something else. I don't like my coworkers, let me go find something else. As much as I love my coworkers and I love my job, this isn't really fulfilling to me. I want to be my own boss. There's nothing wrong with that. But how well can you step out on faith and start over? How confident, how secure are you in your start over? And even though, yes, there will be growing pains, yes, there will be rough patches, yes, it'll be a little chaos ahead, yes, it's going to trigger a little anxiety. Yes, sometimes you might get your feelings hurt, and what you think is going to happen probably won't exactly happen to the T that you think it will. Does that mean don't do it? Does that mean block yourself? Does that mean stifle yourself? Does that mean, tuck your tail and stay with the same mundane things because I'm scared to take a leap of faith and bet on myself? These are the questions to be asking. Give me something on the start over card. What are we starting over with this week? Two of Cups is reversed. What are we starting over with this week? Death card is reversed. What are we starting over with this week? Oh, okay. And this ain't even giving me what you're starting over with. Or what because I consider myself a part of the collective too. This doesn't even say what we're starting over with. I'm going to be honest. This makes me feel like whatever you're doing, whatever lifestyle changes you feel like you need to make, whoever you feel like you need to be, whatever you feel like you need to be, however you feel like you need to be that, right? This makes me feel like you don't need second opinions from anyone else. You don't need the approval of anyone else. You don't need anybody's okay or say so. And you don't need anybody else to build this. It's what this is giving me. Two of Cups reversed. The Death card reversed. The Three of Pentacles is reversed. Bottom of the deck hand, we have the Knight of Wands. People might not approve of what you're doing. People might not understand it. People might feel like, girl, like I'll never forget when I stopped working at Starbucks and I started this exact business. And I remember my man at the time, my best friend at the time, both simultaneously was like, are you sure you want to quit your job for this? I don't think that's a good idea. Both of them. Now, I won't say that they had my best interest at heart because, again, they both later down the line showed to, be people who didn't have my best interest at heart. But regardless of if they had my best interest at heart or not, I knew that this was what I wanted to do. I knew that during that year, something had hit me and set in my spirit, and I said, well, I want to do all of this, and I want to be a business owner, and I got such big dreams and visions. Working at Starbucks won't get me that because Starbucks already belong to somebody the fuck else. I don't care how many franchises or businesses and stores I run. Starbucks ain't my idea. Starbucks ain't something I can give to my kids to say, hey, y'all pass this down, y'all lineage of lineages, because this is something that is ours that I built off me. It's different. But see, my best friend at the time, Two of Cups reversed. My man at the time, Two of Cups reversed. All was against the fact of me actually doing it. They was actually telling me, yeah, why would you want to, so you're going to quit your business and you're going to quit Starbucks and what, start doing spiritual work? You sure you want to do that? You sure that's a good idea? One thing about me, luckily for me, once I make my mind up, I'm going to make my mind up, right? And I knew Three of Pentacles reversed. I didn't need nobody's help to get that shit done. I'm going to do it, and I can do it all and build it all by the sweat off my back. But I could also tell you this. Once I did it and it started popping and it started really going places, they were surprised. I remember this same man, my man at the time. We was together. We had broke up. We had ended up connecting back together. And I remember him asking me, so, how's everything with your business going? I said, great. I still haven't had to go back to work. I had enough money to be able to fly myself out to him, pay for all of our expenses, pay for all of our excursions, pay for my excursions, and still pay to get myself to and from the way I needed to, all off of doing tarot and astrology and spirituality. But what if I listened to them? And I think about that a lot. My own best friend didn't believe in my vision. She was like, girl, like, is you cool? You sure? I don't think you should do that. but was the same motherfucker who was very jealous and envious when you can see that I'm still living well, if not better than how I was. I make my own schedule. I come and go as I please, right? It feels like that type of energy. For some of you, what you need to know this Wednesday is there's something that you want to do. There's something you feel like intuitively you need to start over with. There's some new boundaries you feel like you need to set in place. There's some rebranding that you think that you need to do. There's some starting from scratch on something that maybe an idea or something that can make you some money you want to monetize, but maybe it might cost you. It might not be as smooth sailing as you think. You might have to set some new boundaries and foundations with yourself. Set some new boundaries and foundations with the people that you love. Start from scratch with this business. Maybe you started something and so far it ain't working. You got to go back to the drawing board and retweak at it just a little bit more. And that's okay. It's going to take some strength, but you can get it done. But this made me feel like focus more on self-improvement instead of the improvement of others. Because again, you're going to have some people who say, are you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to drop out of school to do this? You sure you want to leave that relationship? Girl, why would you leave a relationship? This and this and this and this. But girl, I'm not happy. What you mean, why would I leave the relationship? Oh girl, but he pay all your bills. Yeah, but he don't come home and cuddle me at night, bitch. And that matters the most to me. Oh, I wouldn't leave my wife. Yeah, I mean, but my wife also talks to me as if I'm less than a man. And that matters more to me than the fact that I got a piece of eye candy on my arm. Oh, your job pays so well. Yeah, but my bosses treat me like shit. And they have microaggressions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you going to have some people who going to give you some pushback. Who going to make you probably feel like you don't need to do it. Maybe it's with your own self. Because sometimes we can get on our own head, right? We are our own inner critic. And sometimes you have to set boundaries with yourself against negative self-talk. No, I'm not going to talk to myself like that. I'm not going to convince myself that this won't work out for me. I'm going to actually be my biggest cheerleader. And that's a part of having strength, power, and confidence. Where sometimes, again, it ain't other people that's telling you not to. Maybe sometimes you have some friends that say, oh my God, girl, person watching, you can do it. You're so smart and so amazing and so kind. But if you don't believe that for yourself on the inside, you'll always spend this time acting like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. If I wasn't secure in myself, imagine all of my friends coming to tell me, and my man at the time telling me, are you sure that's a good idea, child? I'd have let them talk me right on up out of it. And these are two people who, to this day, still aren't living a dream. They don't even have a good clue or idea, a crumb of morsel of how to even pursue what their biggest, wildest dreams are. And I'm at least 1 foot in the door. I know that doing tarot, doing spirituality, I'm passionate about this. I love helping people. I love that I can take what I've learned, because I done bumped my motherfucking head so many times, and I can apply it and give it to other people and help them a little bit. That makes me feel good. I'm passionate about that. These is two people who still trying to figure life out. But imagine if I'd have listened to two motherfuckers who later down the line still was trying to figure their life out. As someone who was very confident and very secure and had a lot of strength on, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Luckily for me, I've always been headstrong as a Sagittarius woman, where I'm saying, when I make my mind up and say I don't want to do this, can't nobody change my mind. I feel like y'all need to have a little bit of that same energy. Give me a little bit of what the rough patch is as they are on to this new start. What is this rough patch that they might endure? Yeah, Hierophant here with the Six of Wands reversed. For some of you, the people that you love, the people that'll be in authority over you, might make you feel like, yeah, Nine of Cups reversed, might make you feel like, again, there's some issue with it. Maybe you stay with some people again. Maybe there is a job who might have a little bit of an issue and might try to throw their authority around. Maybe there is a little bit of a rough patch, or, you know what I'm saying, with the people you love who feel like, oh, that's not of value. Who might come tell you, oh, you know you're not going to be successful, right? Six of Wands reversed. You know you're not going to be successful. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You're going to drop out of school to start modeling? You're going to quit your Fortune 500 company to be a TikTok influencer and cook? But it's about where your heart is. It's about what feels good to you. It's not even about what a bunch of other motherfuckers is going to say. I feel like people might try to throw their values at you if they aren't already. People might start throwing their beliefs at you if they're not already. Like I said, why would you leave the relationship? What baby said on Waiting to Exhale? That's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man, Savannah. What Whitney Houston said? Well, girl, if he's such a good man, how about you marry him? Since he's such a good man, you marry him. You deal with it. Cause see, I'm not happy. I don't want to be with this person. I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm much more focused on my goals. It feels like that type of vibe. So if this is resonating, make sure you watch out for that. Making sure that you can be confident enough in yourself and your ability to show up in your power, where you're not allowing yourself to be swayed by a bunch of other motherfuckers who, again, ain't even a crumb of where you at. Speaking of Savannah and how good of a man he was, her mama was single. Hello. You trying to advise me on who to be with? And I can't stand a motherfucker who try to tell you about your apple tree and ain't got a stench of an apple on theirs. Bitch, how you gonna tell me how to plant an apple tree and you ain't producing no fruit on yours? Mind your business. But it feel like that. Like I said, if I had listened to a bunch of motherfuckers who still clearly didn't know what to do with their purpose, and 10, 15, 5, 6 years later, they still lost in the sauce. My ex-man ain't did none of the shit he was gonna do. My ex-best friend ain't did none of the shit she was gonna do. I'm at least living a quarter of my vision. I've been had moving to Atlanta on my motherfucking vision board years ago. 6 years ago, actually. Right? So it feels like that. It feels like that. It feels like what you need to know this week is don't let other people project their beliefs and views on you. Don't let other people come in, friends, family, foe, lovers, I don't give a fuck who it was, and they sit here and try to talk you and convince you out of what your vision is for yourself, what you want for your life. Because everybody gonna have some talk. Everybody got some shit to say. Just as much as air is free 99, so is running your motherfucking mouth. Freedom of speech is as free as it's gonna be. That don't mean you have to listen. Especially when you realize opinions and freedom of speech is like assholes. Everybody got one and most of them fucking stink. So, I mean, it makes it a little bit easier to not have to listen to what a bunch of bullshit motherfuckers is talking about. But what you need to know this week is that your inner growth, your inner alignment, your inner awakening is coming full circle. You will reap the rewards for whatever it is that you sow. But you have to sow something. Am I being clear on it? You have to sow something. This week, ask yourself, what is it that I need to be sowing? What is it that I want to sow? What is it that, what are my wildest dreams and my wildest desires? And am I in alignment with that? Am I surrounding myself with people who are in alignment with that? Am I pushing myself to get in alignment with that? Or am I listening to other motherfuckers? A bunch of people who complacent with the top of the trees can't tell you nothing about how to shoot for the stars. That's just what it is. Can't teach you nothing about how to shoot for the stars. Because everybody complacent with the top of the trees. But when you know that you're not complacent with the top of the trees, stop acting like you're complacent with just the top of the trees. Take a leap of faith on actually reaching for the stars. I promise you, you're going to land on one. But a lot of people in this world ain't trying to reach for the stars. A lot of people in this world feel like that's too far-fetched, too out of reach. A lot of people are going to reach for the top of the trees. And then will challenge you and say, well, girl, you sure you want to reach for the top of the stars? Yeah, you sure you want to reach for the stars? Like, I mean, why would you want to do that? Like, I mean, you want to go up there? I mean, don't nobody want to go up there? I mean, why we can't just be okay with the top of the trees? Like, why you want to feel like you larger than life? Why you want to feel like, you know how some folks is, you be around some people, tell them your dreams and aspirations, baby, they straight up shoot them down. Oh, I want to be this, and I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to be an influencer because I really want to cook, and I want to sell play. And them same motherfuckers that you think love you so motherfucking much and look you in your face and will laugh. You want to be a food influencer. You get paid 6 figures. You make buku amount annually. This is how much you bring home on a check. You want to give all of that up to be cooking on the internet? But this is about your first start. This ain't about nobody else. Motherfuck them. This ain't about their first start. Because again, if they had all of the tools and the know-how to how to do it and to elevate their life, they still, half these people in the world still wouldn't do it anyway. Because they can place them with the top of the trees. This is about what makes you happy. This is about what's in alignment with you. This is about what brings you fulfillment. This is about the changes that you need to make for the growth that you need to make in order to get the life that you want to live. That's what the start over is. So if that means I got to leave my Fortune 500 company with all of my benefits and all of my insurance plans and my 401k, and I got to get up out of that because I'm not really happy. If that means pursuing my career over a man who, because my mama think waiting to exhale is a good man, I'd never be where I wanted to be. I'd never be who I thought I was. If I sat around listening to my friend and my lover who acted like, I don't know if you should do that, I'd still be right along miserable with their miserable ass. But I'm quite happy where I am. My business has been living and thriving for 7 years. I've been doing Cero and reading these cards for about, 7 years? 6, 7 years now. Has afforded me to not have to work for nobody else outside of myself if I don't want to. I had always made my schedule how I wanted to, when I wanted to. These are two people who will never know what that shit feel like. I remember when I wanted to move to Atlanta and my mama was very, you'll never be able to do that. I ain't even know through the grapevine. She pillow talking to my sister, talking shit about me, acting like, she'll never, I don't know why she thinks she gonna move to Atlanta. Baby, move to Atlanta and ain't never look back. And now my mama trying to figure out, why you think I should move to Atlanta? I think you should stay where the fuck you is. Don't come move to Atlanta because you see me move to Atlanta off my hard sweat, worry, and work. Hell no. I thought you said I couldn't do it. So just be mindful of that. What you need to know this Wednesday, don't listen to nobody projecting their bullshit on you. A lot of people are miserable and unhappy, and now they're gonna talk you out of what exactly will make you happy. Motherfuck them, motherfuck that. Start over if you have to. Get a new job if you have to. Get a new home if you have to. Move to a whole new state I ain't never been to before, and just restart and start from scratch from there. But it's whatever you want to do. Make sure it's that you want to do it, person watching, and make sure that it's rooted in your strength, rooted in your power, and rooted in your confidence. Because again, a lot of these people who don't have the same power, who don't have the same confidence, and who don't have the same strength will absolutely try to talk you out of yours. And I mean the hell out of that. Give me one oracle so we can go ahead and get on up out of here. What am I at? 31 minutes. Yeah, the reminder card and the summon card. Yeah, the reminder. Risk card down at the bottom. What did I just say? Risk card down at the bottom of the hand. So definitely make sure that you're taking risks. I wouldn't be listening to nobody else. This is your reminder to not fall into cycles that you had already learned. So maybe for some of you, that was a lesson you've already learned. Where it's like, child, I was listening to what they wanted, but I wasn't happy. I'm here today where I'm at now and unhappy because I listened to a bunch of what a bunch of other motherfuckers wanted. But you also have the summon card. Whenever you feel like you don't have strength, whenever you feel like you don't know what to do next, whenever you feel like, again, there's maybe some people in your ear and it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't because they said that I shouldn't, maybe I should. You need to summon your divine team, whoever you pray to, and you need to get clarity. Pray, ask for a sign, ask for clarity, and move forward like that. I wouldn't rely too much on, again, human experience or human expertise, because people can only advise you and guide you to as far as their life went. Again, a bunch of motherfuckers trying to advise you on how to blossom your apple tree, and they tree themselves don't have no fruit on it. You can't tell me shit about how to live this life. You still trying to figure your shit out. But don't be afraid to summon what you need and who you need. Don't be afraid to ask for divine strength, for divine knowledge, for divine wisdom, divine protection. Don't be afraid to ask for signs and synchronicities on your intuition for what you should do. But don't be afraid to also summon your divine team to make sure that you're on the straight and narrow path. Do not repeat any cycles that have not worked for you before. That is what the starting from scratch card is about. The word new cycle is on this card. This is about cycles and lessons. The reminder card, don't forget, meaning don't have to undergo any cycles that you've already been through, that you've learned lessons on. Don't have to relearn any lessons that you've already learned, but then now you're forgetting that you didn't already learn this before. Okay? Just saying. Thank you so much again if you've been paying attention to my channel. If you've gotten this far in this reading, I really do appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Leave me some comments if this resonated. Trying to grow our little family over here. And yeah, my name is B, just in case if you forget from the beginning of this. I hope this resonated. Absolutely. I hope that you have a good rest of the week. I hope that you are enjoying this lunar eclipse energy that's still kind of coasting. I know I'm enjoying it. And yeah, until next time, call me, beat me if you want to reach me, and I'll see you over on the next video. Bye.